I fell in love with this chili on my first trip to Hawaii, and if you've ever been, you should already know all about Zippy's chili. Now, I've been dreaming about it ever since I first had it, so today we're gonna recreate it at home in an Instant Pot. This is a simple and foolproof method to making the best Hawaiian style chili, and there's a secret ingredient that's gonna make it unlike any other chili you've ever had. Alright, y'all, remember to wash your hands. Now first, before we start cooking, let's get all of our prep work out the way. Starting by dicing up all of our aromatics. And for this recipe, we'll be cutting up a white onion first, so we'll cut off the top, then in half while leaving the root end still on, as this is going to give us a little handle to hold while we dice it. We'll peel the onion, and then make thin and even cuts along the grain. Then we'll dice it into small and even pieces. Then for our green bell pepper, I like cutting all 4 sides off while leaving the seeds and stems still attached to the center, and then just discarding that. With the 4 sides, we'll remove any of the pith still attached. Then cut the green bell pepper into thin slices before dicing into roughly the same size as the onion. Next up, I have 4 stalks of celery, and we'll trim away the ends of each stalk and cut the celery into long and thin strips lengthwise. Then again, we'll dice it into small and even pieces. And you already know, anytime we have celery, we have to pay the celery tax. Now moving on from the aromatics, I have 5 ounces of a hot redondo Portuguese sausage, and alternatively, you can opt for the mild version if you'd like. So we'll get the sausage out of its packaging, and we'll cut that in half lengthwise like the celery, and then into quarters before dicing that up. And with all of the prep work done, it's time to start cooking. So we'll set our Instant Pot to saute mode on high, and then we'll add in a tablespoon of a neutral oil. Then add in the diced onions, celery, and green bell peppers. We're gonna sweat this down and cook it for 2 to 3 minutes or until it's softened and fragrant. Then we'll add in the diced Portuguese sausage, along with 1.5 pounds of an 80/20 ground beef. Using a wooden spoon or a spatula, we'll break up any large clumps and continue to cook this for another 2 to 3 minutes or until the beef is no longer pink. Now for the seasonings that's going to make our chili taste like chili, we're going to add in 3 tablespoons of chili powder, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of cumin, half a tablespoon of dried oregano, half a tablespoon of cayenne pepper, which is optional if you don't like the heat, and half a tablespoon of red chili flakes. To that, we'll add in a tablespoon of chicken bouillon, and we'll cook this for another minute or so to allow the dry seasonings to bloom. And if you like this recipe and you want to learn how to make more of your favorite Hawaiian style dishes, make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications to stay up to date on all my latest posts. Then we're going to pour in a 15-ounce can of tomato sauce and a 16-ounce can of Hunt's chili bean along with any of its sauce. Pour in a cup of water and we'll round out our seasonings with a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. And because I'm Vietnamese and I just can't help myself, I'm also going to add in a splash of deer mumfish sauce, which is going to add a ton of depth and umami. Drop in 2 bay leaves and we'll give that a good mix. We'll put the Instant Pot lid on and lock it into place. And then we'll turn it to pressure cook mode on high for 25 to 30 minutes. And alternatively, if you don't have an Instant Pot, you can definitely do all of this on the stovetop in a big pot with pretty similar instructions, but just a longer simmering period. Now after 25 to 30 minutes, we're gonna do a quick release, letting all of that pressure and steam escape. Then take off the lid, and for the secret ingredient that's gonna take this chili over the top, we're gonna add in a 1/4 cup of Kewpie mayo. Now, I've actually had some heated discussions over the authenticity of this recipe, with some folks claiming that the real secret ingredient is actually peanut butter. But looking through Zippy's allergen guide, there's no mention of peanut butter, and in my own recipe testing, the mayo gave me a chili that was closer to Zippy's in my opinion. So do what you will with this information, but for me, that mayo is gonna make this chili extra creamy and give it a really great mouthfeel. Once that's stirred in, give that a little taste test and make any other final adjustments to the seasonings, and then it's time to plate. We're gonna get a generous amount of our chili down into our serving bowl. Then I have a ball of white rice, and we'll place that right in the center. And finally, we'll garnish it with some furikake to give it a little extra island flair. And just like that, you've made an incredible Zippy's chili dupe at home. As always, the principal recipe is available on my blog for free at feedthepudge.com. And if you've made it this far, let me know in the comments section, what's your favorite Hawaiian style dish? Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy.